Every good story has a beginning. Ours doesn't, but everyone needs an origin story. Three mild-mannered coworkers from a fruit warehouse started arguing about who would win in a fight between Barney Fife and Ponch from Chips, and found it was pretty funny and should record. We put out an ad in Craigslist for a recording engineer with late-night access to a recording studio, and all we got was an intern. So here we are in The Other Side of Sanity.
Welcome. We're back and we've stepped to the other side of sanity, just like our intro said, and I love it. Welcome back to Studio 73, and I have the best and most gorgeous team in podcasting with me tonight. I am T-Bone, one of the hosts of this show, and I'd like to welcome, we're going to go right around the horn to kind of coin a baseball phrase. I guess it can't be coined if it's already been there. But to my left, I see Mr. C Money. How you doing tonight?
Hello. Hey, T-Bone. How we doing?
Good, man. I think that was my my biggest radio voice I've ever done.
That was pretty good. Yeah, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do that more often.
Or at least once a week, right?
Right. Or at least while the mic's on. Yeah, so this is C Money. Very excited to be back again. We're having a lot of fun here. It's one of those things where you get together with a group of guys and you have fun and you're like, hey, you know what? Let's record it and share it. And that's what we're doing. And to my left, a very integral, and I mean integral part of our team, 1/4, if you will, the professor.
Hello, everybody. This is the professor. We are here to get academic with it tonight.
Academic.
Yes.
Did you bring all of academia with you?
I did. I have the internet. I have all of academia with me.
Nice.
That's how this works.
Nice.
So,
I love it.
Absolutely. And then we definitely, it's weird having a 4-sided table and only 3 people sitting at it. So to my left, we do have the intern.
Thanks for welcoming me to my basement.
Studio 73.
Yeah, it's Studio 73.
It says
Studio
so,
73.
It says so on the door.
Yeah.
Right
It might be the annex, but it's still Studio 73.
Right. We're not good enough to actually go through that door. We're just kind of peddling our wares on the outside of the door.
We're in the lobby of Studio 73.
Anyway, so yes, I am the intern. And I don't know, everyone else got to say to the left. So I'll say to my left is T-Bone.
Yeah.
T-Bone.
Well, I'm just glad to be back, and I know that we have everybody listening in the interwebs, and by this time we should be out on WLVU as well, to our listening home there, and I'm very excited about everything, and I would hope to invite all our listeners in. But no matter how big this sofa is around our table, I don't think we could hold all of our listeners at one time. Maybe one night we'll try that, and that'll be an excellent show, I think.
You can sit on T-Bone's lap for a measly $5. He does ask that you do request gifts.
Yeah, so speaking of dollars, like you're throwing at me, we came to the conclusion that we like to rate things. And in the past couple of episodes, we've rated things 7 out of 10 or, 2 thumbs up or, different rating systems. And we thought we would try to come up with our own system. And, when I thought about it, I looked at C Money and I said, well, C already has money, so we can't use that one. And then I looked across to me and I said, there's the professor and Marianne. And so I thought, that we could have coconuts, but then the coconuts would just roll off the table. So that wouldn't be very good. So we kind of came to some kind of consensus, and we have come up with a cryptocurrency of our own, if you will, and it is Sanity Bucks. And so we are going to rate things based on Sanity Bucks, and I think we get to all start out with a default number of Sanity Bucks that we can use toward that.
Absolutely.
What was the defining number that we came up with?
So we're actually all going to start out with 100 Sanity Bucks. And I also would like to send a shout out to our sound engineer, the Pope John Paul.
Like that. That is fantastic.
That is his radio call.
I dig it.
Radio Pope John Paul.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
That is awesome.
We kind of stole it and twisted it just a little bit. So now we are all starting off with 100 Sanity Bucks.
and we can use that to rate things as we go. So, if I'm looking at C Money tonight, and I would normally say he looks like $1 million, but in this case, I don't have $1 million to put down on C Money, so I have to say, C Money, you look like 10 sanity bucks, and that would be a compliment.
Is that the conversion?
Because I would give him.
That's the conversion.
That's the
rate
conversion
there? Okay,
rate,
I just
right.
want to make sure I know what I'm looking at.
Yep. And I was told there'd be no math, but tonight there's math. How we doing? Does everybody agree with that? Do we like that sanity bucks?
Yeah, I like knowing that I'm worth 10 sanity bucks, or looking at me as worth 10. So,
Dude, it's tasty. It's a tasty bunch of bucks.
Whew.
so the
It's definitely hot in Studio 73 right now.
the conversion rate's pretty low.
I love it. I love it. So I guess then, what news do we have this week? I mean, there's been some things. I think there's some gaming news. What about entertainment news? Oh, the intern is waving his hand
He's about
feverishly.
to fall out of his chair.
I know, right?
Yeah,
The bathroom's
careful.
right over there.
Okay, yeah.
No, it's right behind me. I'm sorry.
He's right behind
You
you.
don't have to ask. You can just go.
Yeah.
Please, like last time, don't take your mic with you. We appreciate the surprise. That's all we ask.
So for entertainment news, I'm actually gonna start off with PUBG versus Epic Games. PUBG is suing Epic Games for copyright infringement on their game Fortnite against Public. Do you know the name of it?
No, because I don't play this game.
Oh yeah. So for
So this-
those that don't know PUBG, it's Player Unknown's
That's
Battleground,
what I thought.
and I think their parent company is something just like Players Battleground something. But yes, they are being sued, or excuse me, they're suing Fortnite because of the Battle Royale specifically.
Yep, Battle
Where it's
Royale.
basically they're copying what PUBG had set up, which many others are also copying. But it should be interesting specifically because, and you mentioned this earlier, because Epic owns,
Unreal Engine
right, which
basically controls all of PUBG's like the way PUBG works is it's based off of the Unreal Engine. That's what powers the game. So now that they're suing the people who help them power their game, they're kind of, I guess, stabbing themselves in the back.
Oh, this is epic.
That's the wrong idiom.
did you
Shoot yourself off in the foot.
were you
It's
even
just-
trying on that one? That
That was
good.
good. though.
Yeah.
It was
No.
fantastic.
Yeah, no.
I have no idea
I'll
what I
bet
just
2
did. but-
sanity bucks you weren't trying on that one.
Well, now you're down.
Now you're down.
No, I just
Ooh.
won 2
Oh,
sanity
did you?
bucks.
Oh.
So does that mean I lose 2 sanity bucks?
Well, you'd have to accept his bet.
Yeah,
Oh,
There's
no, 'cause
already
I'm-
too much math.
All right.
Yeah,
Um,
and we don't know how to bet apparently.
So if I'm gonna let's pretend that I had known nothing about gaming.
yeah, that's a
which
stretch.
is-
Let's pretend.
let's pretend.
In the
So-
far off flungs of imagination land.
So the one group who uses a design and world engine is suing that said engine group manufacturer, if you will,
Sure.
because something they're doing is similar.
Yes. And they
So I would expect them not to be able to use that engine going forward, and then they'll have to build their own engine.
So that's kind of what I was kind of getting at. Like, they're suing the company responsible for their game. So basically, without Epic Games, PUBG doesn't exist.
All right, no, I see why you were excited about waving your hands and pulling this in, because at first I was like, okay, that's one group suing another group, not a big deal. But this actually is a pretty big deal, right?
And they waited, and PUBG waited till Epic Games put $100 million into their competitive fund. So that's money they no longer have access to. So Epic literally took $100 million, put it in their gaming fund, which, by the way, is so much more money than any other competitive game has.
Well,
And
that's
then-
what we put into ours too.
Okay, maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah, he meant
Right.
for like a
Like a-
publicly traded company.
Yeah, a popular game.
All right, fair enough. What other news out there do we have?
Well, this is also gaming related, but this is near and dear to my heart. Bethesda Softworks did release a teaser trailer for the new Fallout 76, which is really interesting to me. I'm a huge fan of that and that entire franchise. We're going to learn a little bit more about that on the 10th of June at their E3 Expo. I can't wait to see what they're going to do there. Lots of leaks and rumors already. A little bit of recanting on that so far. There was a little rumor it was multiplayer only. It was more of like a Rust clone, which I really did not enjoy that much. But there's a lot of exciting stuff happening there, so I'm excited for that one. Definitely a good time.
Yeah, from what I've heard about that too, I would have to say it does sound exciting because it could either be a continuation of Fallout 4, not Fallout 5, but like 4.4, 4.5, or it's one of the I want to say but one of the
vaults.
The vaults, thank you. That was early on in the series, so even like Fallout 1-ish, that is celebrating surviving the bombs, but are the first out. So to the point where the animals or the creatures out there are super strong because the radiation is still present. But it's all speculation, though, right?
Yeah, there is a lot of speculation on a lot of that. There are some things that are kind of like sort of semi-confirmed from tweets by developers. Todd Howard hasn't thrown anything out there. He's the lead on that. But the date and time on that puts it at the earliest Fallout game that would have been released, which would be really cool. It would have, put it in perspective, Fallout takes place and starts with a nuclear event in the year 2077. This takes place 25 years later, and most of the other games that we're talking about are at least 100 years past that. So we're talking early on in the aftermath. It's just an interesting concept. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I love the genre. I love the game. I love Bethesda. I think they're a great developer. So I'm excited for that. It's always an interesting thing to deal with the rumors and the speculation. So we'll see what happens.
Actually, question for the group, because I did want to know. About 2 weeks ago, both, all DC TV shows ended. Did anyone, or is anyone here caught up?
I am not.
I am also not.
No, I'm sorry. I gave up on them last seasons.
You're all kicked out of the other side of Sanity.
Oh, well, we'll have to go to our own studio.
Yep. Studio 72B
-1
is available. No, it's I'm a season or two behind on those. I really enjoyed them, but I'm behind.
Because I wanted to say that they're all renewed. They're all renewed for another season. So I didn't want to talk about what happened last season because it was so huge. But I will just leave that to bed then.
Let's defer that. And maybe look at it right before the new season comes out.
Yep,
let's do that. That would be a great way to kind of intro those seasons.
Well, the entirety of all the seasons are on Netflix.
Netflix, yep.
And everything you said, everything got renewed. So we're talking Arrow, Flash, Supergirl,
and DC's
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, Legends of Tomorrow got renewed.
That's a shame.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which I actually
I think we all agree on that.
I really enjoyed the first season.
I agree with that.
And then they ran out of stuff.
And right.
It's been like a struggle and a stretch to make it work.
Well, because it's literally the trash of their TV show. It's where all the unwanted characters go.
Yeah, it's their Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. that was not anywhere near as good as
it's something that you would give no bucks to, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God! Are you trying to set up the pun?
Hey, you can't do that. It doesn't work that way.
God.
Wow. I'm going to take $2 away for you trying to do that.
Seriously, man.
Dude, you got like no bucks left.
You have been fined.
Oh yeah.
Man. Absolutely.
I love it.
Fining people bucks. I'm all over that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not voting on that.
So we got to be careful what we say then.
We're going
right?
to fine you for not voting on that. You have to vote on that.
Yeah.
You're already behind.
Oh man.
I think you're out of bucks now.
I started with $100.
Yeah, you don't know how big that fine is, though.
Oh, it's a hefty fine. We are in the state of Pennsylvania. It's a hefty fine.
We're going to fine you coming and going.
I apologize for those international listeners that we have that might not understand. Pennsylvania is a weird state with some turnpikes, and that was a reference to that.
I think they probably have heard it though.
Right. Probably
potholes, weather, and finding you on the way back in state. That's what we do in Pennsylvania.
The way the cops know you're drunk driving is if you're driving straight on the roads. They know you're sober when you're swerving left and right, avoiding the potholes.
I wasn't sure where that was going, but okay, that was pretty good. I'll give you $1 back for that.
Right. So you're up to minus 63.
Yeah, there we go.
You were down 64. Now you're just down 63.
Only go up.
All right. So I did want to ask, since we kind of already are in the gaming corner, are there any new gaming trailer or any new game trailers?
Not really.
The single worst segue since the segue.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
I
good.
actually-
like that.
so-
That's good.
I actually rode a Segway in college. They had the giveaway.
Like to class?
No. They had a giveaway in the bank. If you open up an account at the bank, they were going to
Yep.
give away a Segway, and one of my floor mates won the Segway.
Oh,
So we sold it for $5,000. But the weekend
holy.
before someone came and picked it up, we were driving it around campus.
Of course
just
you were.
rolling it around, trying to see if we could knock people off of it. It was awesome.
All right.
I fell off the Segway once.
$5,000.
$5,000. That's what they were worth at the time.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Huh.
so I guess my segues are very bad.
Yeah,
Agreed on?
Yeah,
Oh,
not
man,
worth $5,000. That's for sure.
seriously.
definitely not.
Even sanity bucks.
No, especially not Sanity Bucks.
All right, so but no, are there any new game trailers? Like did Fallout 76? Is that did they come out with a trailer for it?
It's just a teaser.
teaser.
It's a teaser. I mean, I like it. It was good. I think that there's not much reason to continue.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's like the
With
teaser
it.
of all teasers.
Yeah.
It's like you get so little there, you're just like, oh my god, but it's like
So no actual gameplay.
no
or-
reveals. Of
Oh,
any
not
kind.
even
No,
close.
no, just
So-
to start the rumor mills.
Yeah.
Then to start more rumor mills, I don't know if any of you know what Anthem is.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So Anthem was a game that was supposed to be released in 2018 of March of 2018. That's what was rumored when not rumored. That's what was said at E3 last year. Turns out March came around and Anthem was not released, and no news was released on it. Nothing. They were just kind of leaving it go. They just released, I think 2 days ago or a day ago, a 6-second teaser trailer, speculating that there are more to come in this E3.
A 6-second teaser trailer.
That sounds right.
6 seconds.
Anthem, that is BioWare.
BioWare, yes.
Yeah. That sounds right.
BioWare.
I had to make sure I was remembering
I know.
correctly because they had all these franchises and now they have like 2.
I think that was the one was not first person, sorry. Like Grand Theft Auto camera, but you have a suit you can fly through kind of like Crisis. And then because what the one video I'm thinking of is you have a partner, you're flying through, testing the suit out, amazing abilities, rockets and like machine guns on your suit, and there's animals and other people you're fighting against, and like a prehistoric kind of jungle theme kind of thing.
Yes.
You're basically a Gundam at that point.
Oh, Gundam, there we
You're
go.
a
That's
Gundam.
even better.
That's like
You wear suits called javelins. They're exosuit.
it's a Gundam.
Exo-shoot suits. Nope, I can't speak. Nope.
Shoot, can't say suit. Gundam, I think, sums it up.
Intern signing out.
So it looks like I'm looking at some pictures online. It looks like Iron Man meets Halo meets any other random
Yep.
game.
Meets like Titanfall 2.
But you're
Yeah.
fighting. You're not fighting like you're fighting aliens or.
So
or
you're fighting just for your survival? You're not against like an enemy, se?
nothing officially ish that I've paid attention
right?
to.
That's Iron Man right there,
yeah.
Right.
So it's
Like-
actually more like you're in this dystopia world,
holding a Halo gun.
and you're in this wall, and only people in javelins are allowed to leave the wall and try to fight off the rest. So
So
to my understanding.
Iron Man's the only one allowed off the helicarrier.
Right, right. That's pretty much. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's-
pretty much what we're looking at.
All right, good.
For T-Bone's analogy, it's pretty good.
Yeah. T-Bud's analogy, is that another segment of the show?
Well, it could
It's just
be.
a recurring segment throughout the episode.
Right.
That was just
Well, yeah, because my knowledge of gaming isn't very good, so I'll just try to keep up. Even look at that. That's Iron Man.
Oh, look, there's a picture of Robert Downey Jr. Oh, wait, that was something else. Sorry.
I
Okay,
think that's
cool.
next week's.
So that's
episode.
exciting because I know the trailer that I recall was awesome, but I'd forgotten about it because so many other games came out. But so it's kind of cool if they're figuring out their production schedule, getting their shit together.
See Money, we'll be playing that together when you get that
Yeah, because
PlayStation.
that's not just PlayStation, right?
It's everything.
Okay.
PC.
Then that's where I'm going to be playing that at.
Oh,
I'm
that's
definitely
one,
playing
So that's
that.
one you will play. Oh, nice.
Absolutely. That's one I'm looking at. I'm also interested to find out on the 5th of June, I forget who the publisher is, the game Vampire is coming out.
Oh, that looks awesome.
That looks amazing, and
Yeah.
I'm absolutely going to play that
That looks
because that's
really good.
very much in line of storytelling. There's a lot of stuff going on there, gameplay-wise. You're talking, we're talking a lot going on there in terms of things like leveling system, combat system. Apparently you can play the entire game and not kill anyone, which is really interesting as a vampire.
Oh, right, because you can just kind of hide out and sneak around.
But you will have really weak powers and stuff.
That's
But
not fun.
I'm all over that. This to me looks like an actually realized order, the Order 1886 kind of, in terms of like a game that has like a gothic horror feel. But this looks realized in terms of an RPG, so I'm excited to play that.
Yeah. I've never heard of them, so it's Don't Nod almost. Don't Nod
Don't
Entertainment.
Nod Entertainment.
Never
Who are
heard
they
of them.
under?
Yeah, that's got to be a subsidiary of something. But yeah, I agree. The vampire looks.
Oh, they're a French developer. Interesting.
Oh,
And then it's published by Focus Home Interactive. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Focus Home Interactive. Doesn't sound too sexy. But yeah. Oh wait, so that comes out. Wait a minute. It comes out.
It comes out this week.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the first week in June.
Which the week of this recording, it comes out.
Damn. I
Yeah,
missed that one. Okay.
This
cool.
these are these guys were somehow involved with Life is Strange, which I didn't play, but I've heard was good stuff.
Yeah, that actually was pretty good. But that's cool. So I'm impressed. But yeah, I like that. That's awesome. I guess I'll have to be playing that on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm gonna be looking at that one.
I'll be working.
Yeah,
I have off Tuesdays.
good for
So-
you.
For all our listeners,
I love.
intern is off on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So here's his number, so you can call him and hit him up.
The best part of course, you guys couldn't see that, but then when he approaches the mic, he's like all giddy and happy, like he just got a new puppy, and he's like, "I'm off on Tuesdays," which is cool. Tuesday is a good day. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like Tuesdays as well.
Yeah, out of all the days of the week, it is my favorite one named Tuesday.
That's true.
Yeah,
Tuesday. I mean,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It's definitely my favorite one that starts in a T.
You're not a fan of Thor's Day? You don't like Thor?
Oh, the day
Really?
of Thor's.
The day of Thor.
Yep.
Thursday.
Thor's Day. Thursday. Do you not know that?
Wow.
Am I teaching
No,
you things in
you
turn?
literally.
This is why
there's
I'm the
smoke,
professor.
There is smoke coming out of his ears. He is blown away.
He's
Mind
probably
blown.
also lost that, like, it's definitely, you've got Woden's Day too, which is Wednesday, and then Freya's Day. It's all Norse. Do you not know that?
What's a Norse?
Jesus Christ.
Norse.
Father, protect me.
Yeah.
You're not Odin's son. Oh my. Okay. Are we good with the gaming corner then? Or this was gaming news, excuse me.
Yeah, it's gaming
Well, it's
corner.
kind of the gaming corner.
Yeah.
News.
I have a super nerdy addition to the gaming corner.
Like you have to preface that.
It's definitely too nerdy for anyone else at the table, I feel like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too nerdy for prime time?
It's way past, like, even,
Oh jeez.
it's beyond being too nerdy for prime time.
Oh, please.
Wizards of the Coast announced 2 new D&D adventures, which is really interesting. I'm very excited for. There is the Dungeon of the Mad Mage and the Dragon Horde Heist, both set in the Forgotten Realms. I'm a huge fan of the literature and the storylines there. Still on the lookout for a weekly or monthly or anytime D&D group. I would love to play. I would love to even try DMing. It would be great, but
What was the last thing you said?
DMing. It's anything where you direct message somebody.
No. It is where you are the master.
I'm sure that's not what he meant.
It's the master of the
Brilliant.
dungeon. God, intern.
No, I'm gonna give him mad props on that. That was
That was a pretty good burn.
it was. Oh, I like that. That was
I
good.
thought you said like lemming or yemming. I'm like, what the hell is that?
No.
As soon
was
as he
good.
started D&D, I just went, I don't
That's
know.
what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Too nerdy for this table.
All right, so once
Which is
we
impressive.
get our social medias and everything up, everybody needs to DM the professor and start D&Ding with him. Or is that a verb?
Yes, absolutely. It is actually a verb.
It's so
Yeah.
they can DM to D&D while DMing.
With yemming.
Right.
Yeah.
Like all the other lemmings.
That's right. But yeah, that is my extent of the gaming news for now. I'm
That's
done.
cool though, because I mean, all kidding aside, Dungeons and Dragons has been
That's
a
big.
franchise for. I remember it was around when I was little, and it
Yeah.
probably predates me.
It's really gotten a resurgence with Twitch streaming. Like, there are tons of people there are tons of shows now. There are tons of shows that stream weekly. I mean, the biggest one is definitely Critical Role on Geek and Sundry, where you have a bunch of voice actors playing. They've been playing for a few years. They started their new campaign at the beginning of 2018. good stuff. So it's kind of seen a renaissance and a resurgence. So it's gotten really popular.
No, is
No
it
pun
all
intended.
is it all done? This is me asking an
Sure.
actual real question. Is it all done live and in a setting similar to what we have going on, or is it made its way electronically via some sort of Skype?
There are
thing?
both options actually. There's both a studio where you have a presentation in front of a studio and it's live streamed out, or there are some who are Skyped in. Depends on the show. It depends on where you're at. I mean, some of the ones that are Skyped in when there are like events, like there was, for example, Wizards is hosting an event the first weekend in June, the Stream of Many Eyes, where they're announcing and releasing this new content. These are some of the times where some of these shows have actually the first time they've gotten together to play together, like at a table live, which is interesting. So I like the storytelling. I like the RPG, the storytelling aspect of it. So I'm a huge fan of just enjoying myself watching it. But I've played a little bit in the past. It's been a lot of fun. So
Oh, awesome.
That's cool. That was a good question, Terry.
Yes, it was.
Cool. Anything else for the gaming corner? Or can we transition to the app that Terry no longer has because it's...
Oh man,
Broski.
that's twice in a row. You need to make labels with the names and just like
We
take
need
them
a
on the
little thing
lanyards.
that we just hang around
Just
our
a
neck,
lanyard.
like this big plaque,
No, don't do that.
like rap
Stop.
artists did, like a clock.
Like a clock. Yes.
Yeah.
Flavor Flav.
Won't mess his name up.
No.
And so, I think last time we got together, a game was handed to me, and I have this tendency to either like a game and leave it on my phone or hate a game and delete it pretty quick. And last time, I think intern, you handed me this one, and it was Hearthstone, and I don't know what genre that comes into. Somebody I said it, and you said something about Professor. What is it? A card?
It's a card game.
Card game.
Yep.
So that's what it's considered as a card game, right?
Mhm.
And so, right when I downloaded it, it asked me to sign in.
Oh,
Mistake number one.
Right.
Mistake number one.
And there was like a Facebook or a Google sign in or create some account. No, but of course I
Yeah.
did sign in under some fake email address because
Sure.
I wanted to see what it was about. But I don't like giving out and my personal information, especially not using Google or the Facebooks to do that because who knows what they're doing with that information,
The Facebook.
right? And so yeah, that wasn't a good start. Hold on, I've got notes on this.
I want to actually, while you're looking at your notes, the Facebook is what Facebook was called.
Yes, I've seen social networking. Okay,
Oh,
I'm
you
sorry.
saw the video? You saw the movie? Really? I was in college when that shit happened. That was real for me.
I love it.
I'm sorry you're so old.
So
That was real for me.
Yeah, it was real for me.
I felt for him when he was going through that.
No, like,
Yeah, really.
All right.
I really have feels for Mark Zuckerberg.
yeah.
yeah,
So-
no, I don't.
If
No
any-
feels.
If anybody knows his salary, I'll be very impressed. His yearly salary.
At
Isn't it
least a couple-
$1?
At least a couple
Yeah,
sanity
it's-
bucks. Actually, I don't want to know his salary.
It's $1.
It's
It'll
$1
just make me more.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that.
because he said, "Oh look, Steve Jobs makes $1. I'll do like that." And there you go.
yeah,
Shock.
plus
So-
benefit.
onto my adventure into Hearthstone.
T-Bone's adventure into Hearthstone.
There are cards and reading.
There are cards and
One
reading.
Strike two and strike
Is
three.
that strike? Is that one strike or is that two?
We're two strikes.
First there was a
Right?
commitment, then there was cards, and then there was
Yeah.
reading. No.
So card and reading is kind of like together, right? Because you have to read the card.
That's very
It
true.
was-
Yeah, there's pictures too, but yeah, you do have to.
No,
read a little
the
bit.
the pictures were static. It was lame.
There are some
So-
pictures that are animated.
So the next comment I had was it was lame as fuck, and so
Whoa.
you pick a card, and then some random outcome happens, and then it tells you what to do next, and I don't need to be told what to do next. Just do my next thing if it makes sense, but this doesn't, so it has to tell you what to do next. Well, anyway, so I left that alone. It took me about 2 minutes to download content because just by having the app on there doesn't mean anything. So then you have to sign in and then you have to download content.
Yeah.
And about 1 minute to set up. So there's 2 minutes plus 1 minute is 3 minutes. And then I deleted it 5 minutes later.
So you got a total of 8 minutes from download to delete?
download to delete 8 minutes.
That's a record.
It was brisk.
Pretty, yeah.
It was brisk.
The
All
game wasn't brisk, but the delete
delete
process. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
T-Bone, I do have another game if you're willing to try another one.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
I'm always up for trying another one. I'm independently wealthy, and this podcast is making me even more money. I don't want to pay for shit. So if you've got something and it's good, and then I see some value, maybe I'll pay for it. But throw me a freebie.
A freebie?
Yeah, not a Furby.
Fight list.
I had a freebie or a Furby. I had freebies too, but I had a Furby.
I had a Furby too.
So what's your game?
Fight list.
Fight list.
Fight list.
Fight list.
What
The
is that?
first thing of fight list is there is no fight list.
You can't talk about fight list.
Right. Can't talk about it.
So
We already failed that one. That's strike one right there,
Right,
isn't
strike
it?
one.
We didn't
Yeah,
even download it yet. We got a
I'm going to
strike.
delete it before even.
Oh, man.
don't tell us though. Stop talking about it.
T-Bone, it was just sent to you.
Oh,
It
he
was sent
gifted
to
you.
me.
Technology.
Whoa.
I can. I have it. It's in an instant message, or it's on a messages app, and the picture of it couldn't be lamer. So looking at it right there, I feel like this is going to.
Can you share with the group?
Yeah, I can actually. I am going to.
Yeah. Wait till you get
but
the big picture. Or
it-
can you? Yeah, throw it up on the board.
Let me undo you so I can do me. And so for the folks here in the Studio 73, we're going to
Fight list.
I'm going to put it up there.
So just looking at it, it's not what I thought.
Oh, son of a bitch!
What are you doing?
There we go.
All right, so I actually had the App Store.
Yeah, he was
Listing.
actually in there.
All right, will you do that?
Doing it.
And it's
Loading.
Yeah.
Interns.
You know what, Professor? One day I'm going to be
There it
gone
is.
and you're going to miss me.
there. It is. So first of all, their icon is a boxing glove with some stars around it, 4-point stars, not even 5-point or 6-point, but 4-point. And
I give it a sanity buck.
then
Wow, he's down to negative 64 now.
the previews down at the bottom, they're
Something T-Bone will never see.
yeah, a victory.
I thought you were talking about a friends list.
Man, that burn works on multiple levels.
So it's on the challenge your friends screen, and so either I don't have friends or I'm not going to win. Either one, it works. So you know what? I'll download it right now, and I'll get back to you, and you, and you, and all of those in Sanity Land.
I do challenge the rest of the other side of Sanity to challenge T-Bone in Bite List.
So what? Give us a little synopsis.
What is it? What do I do?
Is it?
So-
why is it so much fun?
Hold on. No one said it was fun.
Oh.
Not,
Oh, God.
Then why are we even talking
I'm
about it?
not even going to bother with
I
this.
tell you what, let's don't do any preview of this.
All right.
I will give it my review
Okay.
when we're done.
I can't wait.
I give it a sanity buck though. I do give it one.
So he's down one.
All right, so negative 64. He just keeps digging himself
I'll put
down.
3 in just to hear, because I know Terry's going to rip it a new one. I'll put 3 in just to hear that.
Dude, again?
Oh.
Like,
All right, so can we? Let's put a nail in that coffin. It is Hearthstone was awful. It deleted it in 8 minutes. I'm looking forward to deleting this one pretty quickly as well.
If any Blizzard editors are listening to this and they'd like to send T-Bone some free merch that tells him to fuck off, I welcome it. I also will take some merch.
Is this a Blizzard app?
Hearthstone was a
Hearthstone.
Blizzard Entertainment.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was. All right.
Fightlist is
So
not.
Blizzard, you need to up your game. That shit sucked.
It's only the most successful game in the world right now.
Wow.
Hearthstone
Just
is.
It's one of the biggest competitive games. It's easily their biggest game, other than like StarCraft at the moment.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's
Is it?
gigantic.
Huge.
That shit sucked.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan either, but they're doing okay. Yeah.
All right.
I'm just
So
I'm
not
happy. No, I'm
we're not
happy.
hurting them.
No, you're not definitely not hurting them. I play Hearthstone. I love it. So
Yeah,
That shit sucks.
if you pulled half of all of our work colleagues, half of them are playing it all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
You know, one of your colleagues, Bradley, has been playing it since it came out, and he's the best one in the store. Everyone who does play it challenges him, and
oh yeah, he's way better than I am.
everyone gets defeated by him. So you got to ask him.
All right.
And it does look great on a 12.9 inch iPad. I do have to say, it looks pretty awesome. Not that I would play it, but it does look pretty cool.
Excellent. Excellent. So I believe that brings us around to the topic du jour, our big topic for the night. And three of us have seen the movie, and one of us has cheaped out and said, I'm not going to go see it because the professor, I think you have an analysis of his choosing.
Wow, yeah. The spoiler alert for this: the intern's the one who didn't see the movie. I mean, I just like, it's amazing. Everyone keeps talking about this was the intern's argument. The box office is not that great on this movie, so I'm not going to go see it. That's the reason the box office is bad, because you didn't go see the movie. You got to go see the movie.
So the movie that we need to talk about is Solo, a Star Wars story.
I would just like to say that if I didn't see Avengers or Black Panther, they still would have done perfect.
I'm not blaming you individually. I'm saying there are a lot of people like you. You're the example
Oh
of
my God, there's a lot of people like him.
I know. Yeah.
Professor, kill me now.
So we got to go we got to ride off into the sunset, T-Bone, you and me. We're like,
Right?
I don't know, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Thelma and Louise, take your pick.
Just because of that,
Yeah.
as you drive off a cliff.
As we drive off a cliff.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Don't we do that every night we meet here? Just drive right off a cliff.
Sometimes it feels like it.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Solo. And since the intern hasn't seen it, we will be spoiling things. To me, there really wasn't any spoilers. I mean, there was a moment that was kind of exciting. But overall, I thought the movie was quite excellent. I went in with actually lower expectations than some of the other Star Wars movies, and came out feeling really, really good about it. What do you think, Simone?
I would have to agree. I set my expectations lower, just because sometimes I just want to be entertained. But it was impressive. The acting was good. Some of the origin stories were awesome. So meeting Chewie, getting his blaster pistol, seeing some of the people that were involved in what created the Han that we knew and loved. Just really well done. Someone even, I forget if it was T-Bone or not, even said if you had taken the Star Wars out of it, it would have still been a good dystopian movie.
Right.
And I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's just, and then I although he would disagree, or although he was expecting the ending, I was actually surprised to see Darth Maul at the end. That end piece, I thought it was going to end up with her dying, not with that showing up there. I was still expecting some kind of twist.
Yeah.
But it was just really, really good.
The fact that her allegiance to Darth Maul was, and his reveal. I originally thought maybe we'd get to meet the Hutt in this movie.
I agree. I thought that was going to be who we were really looking at. It was going to be Jabba the Hutt, which
So
would have been awesome in its own right.
It would have been, and I would have loved that ending just as much.
Yeah.
But I think it was a great twist to have Kira have that allegiance to Darth Maul, and to see Darth Maul. He was he was a big part of the Phantom Menace, and I'm one of the few people on the planet that really liked that movie, and part of it was him in the movie, and the fight scenes that Ray Park brought, and he, just pure athleticism to his fighting style was pretty amazing, and the fact that spoiler for that movie, Obi-Wan cuts him in half, and he slides down yet another very long exhaust port, which seems to be a theme in Lucas world.
It's absolutely a Star
and
Wars
still
trope.
survives.
And still survives with robot legs. But the true Star Wars fan already knew that he survived because he was in the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. And if you haven't seen the Clone Wars animated series, you're doing yourself a disservice to Star Wars and just good entertainment in general, because that is awesome.
Yeah, it's very well done. The
It
stories are great.
The stories are great. They are, and for it being animated and being marketed to kids, there is some dark shit that happens in some of those.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there is some there's betrayal and terrorism and torture and all kinds of stuff. It's well done. It's really good Star Wars. I'm a huge fan of that.
And as you have our permission, adults out there, to watch that series because it's definitely worth it.
Yeah,
It's
the
totally
character-
worth it.
The character depth is great. I mean, you get to know these characters that we haven't met. There's some that we know, but they fringe upon lives of new characters that are really deep and rich. And so it's really a cool.
It's in fact one of my favorite callbacks there. Another Star Wars anthology movie here, Rogue One. Saul Guerrero is a character in the Clone Wars. He's a kid in that movie,
Right.
and he's the start of he's part of this fringe element of the rebellion. I love that tie-in, but I mean, going back with it in Star Wars, that the Darth Maul reveal, I was surprised at. I was super pumped when it happened. It was great.
Did your theater go nuts?
I actually saw it at our local drive-in, so it went nuts.
Yeah.
It went nuts in the car.
So you by yourself?
I actually drug a friend along, so we were
with
like,
drugs?
yeah, no T-bone. We went to see it. We went
Never
to see it
admit
though.
that.
Yeah, not on air at least. God.
But I think one reason too to see the Clone Wars, and this is where my son comes in because he's probably even more nerdy than I am, which is hard to believe sometimes. He was then explaining so that because Darth Maul is there, and in One Piece, of course, and correct me if I'm wrong, Professor, that on the whole timeline of everything, that means that the Solo movie would have come right after. Hold on.
Fun fact while he's thinking, Han Solo dies.
Yes,
He does,
in the Force Awakens, Han Solo does in fact die.
You're welcome.
Wow.
I think I spoiled that for you last week, but I think it's somewhere between
it's between
Clone Wars and
it's the other. Depending on, I forget where we're at because Dooku's alive in. Oh no, yeah, Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. I'm
Yes.
sorry, yeah,
right.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Yep. But that is a great move in general. I just thought it was a great story, and you were right on it, C-Money. When you can take that story out of the Star Wars universe, it's still compelling, it's still interesting, the characters still work. I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, I don't understand where this like whole, it was a great movie, let alone a great Star Wars movie.
I mean, Woody Harrelson was amazing.
I thought he was awesome. Yeah.
I mean, I love him. Like Zombieland, one of my favorites. I've loved him since Cheers.
Yep.
yeah.
He was awesome in Zombieland.
I mean, but he was really. I mean, for a sci-fi kind of fantasy movie, he was really good.
He was.
Even
He
to
was
the end.
salty.
And but he fit into that. He fit right into that world though too. Like he's talking about things that, again, spoilers for the Clone Wars. He talks about killing Aura Singh. She's a bounty hunter in the Clone Wars series.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard it, but
Yeah.
now I didn't even think about it until you said that.
So like that's like he just fits right into that. Like that Beckett, the character fits perfectly in there, and he is great as that character. I loved it.
Even to the last
Yeah.
thing where they're obviously have a showdown, and he's going to tell a story, so he has time to pull the trigger, and Han shoots first.
Right.
But then when he's like he's holding him as he's dying in his arms, and then he's like, you learned something because I was going to kill you, but
Right.
and obviously it goes right to Star Wars. Then we're in the cantina.
So I literally out loud in my theater, as soon as Han shot him, I yelled Han shoots first.
No. You don't even have to say the first, because in the movie,
Yeah.
Han shoots, Greedo dies.
Yeah.
Greedo doesn't even shoot.
Oh, that's true. There's no
He's
second.
done.
So there was so much in it for the Star Wars fan. I mean, the Easter eggs are just everywhere, and
There's a ton of them. I mean,
Yeah.
like the Mandalorian suit in Voss's like trophy throne room where
Yeah.
he's like sitting. There's a suit of Mandalorian armor hanging out there.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of cool stuff happening. I loved it. I loved what the movie did. Did a few things. The Kessel Run, seeing the Kessel Run was epic. Cause he gets out of it. You know
Right.
he's gonna live through it. You know the ship's gonna make it. You know all that going in. But to see it happen, you're still like going like, oh man, how are they gonna get out of this? Are they
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah,
like, what?
and that creature.
I kept
Oh,
waiting.
yeah.
Creature was so badass.
I kept waiting for there's always a bigger fish moment.
Yep.
You know, so something else came up, but we didn't get that. But the Kessel Run was awesome. I love they threw back to Lando's mask from Return of the Jedi. I mean, there's just so many little things. The cape, the Millennium Falcon look new, and then that pod that was jettisoned, reshaped the Millennium Falcon, if you will. I thought it was just very, 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 very well done. And I have, I would give 10 sanity bucks to see it again.
Oh, I'd go as high as 20 to see it again.
Yeah.
And I would go see it in a theater again. I mean, I wouldn't even wait for it to be released.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't see what the I guess big idea of, a change of directors. I thought the change of directors was fine. It was still the Kasdans were still writing it, who, if you know, have a huge history with Star Wars. They know Star Wars better than anybody. I don't care how nerdy you think you are. The Kasdans wrote it.
Yeah,
So
the Kasdans are the Stephen Colbert's,
right,
the Star Wars to Tolkien.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
Right. So I love that. It was. I thought the music was good. I mean, part of a Star Wars movie is the music. It wasn't John Williams, but I thought it was excellent.
Oh yeah, and it definitely evokes John Williams at points. It's not a straight up. I mean, you can tell it's not John Williams at certain points, but you still feel some of that epicness to it. That epic sound is there at certain points.
I felt like there was, and we talked about this a little bit with the dystopian side, but I think it invokes some Blade Runner-esque times when they were trying to leave the planet, and in the background you have the Empire with its advertising, come join the Empire, and then you definitely hear Darth Vader's theme, or the
Oh yeah, the Imperial March.
the Imperial
is
March
right there.
Yeah, so it was well done.
And even to the fact that he served with the Empire briefly,
Yeah.
which, I mean, I guess, you do what you have to do, but it's kind of like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then you realize, well, considering he's trying to get back to the planet, you do what you have to do. But like Emilia Clarke, amazing. And I was expecting her to be in a lot less. So it was kind of cool that she was a main character.
Yeah, her character was for being in the film as much as she was, don't know a lot about that character, and I like that.
Yeah, very.
I like that she's very mysterious.
Like, you knew she was through some shit, but she's like, I can't share it, or I don't want to because you won't like me anymore, kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah.
And even knowing that, I was still surprised by the ending. And then,
I thought Alden, whatever his name was,
Alden Emmerich, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was great as
He's
Solo.
definitely Solo. He's definitely there. Donald Glover, though, is Lando Calrissian.
So that's really interesting, because I actually liked him as Lando, probably more so than
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams. Now that I've seen him as Lando, it makes Billy D. Williams seem cheesy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's really, there's some great callbacks from that. One, he's just got the smirk, he's got the swagger.
He does have the swagger,
which is great. He also, they do the great thing, and this goes back to the writing here. Watching the original trilogy release, Lando is the only character, the only American actor played by American actor
right.
who says Han.
Right.
Carrie Fisher goes back and forth, but that's because she was going back and forth on the British accent for a while.
Right.
He's the only one who says Han. That gets addressed in the movie. He goes up and he goes, "Oh, it's Han Solo." He goes, "Oh, whatever, Han." He's like, He's like, I don't even care.
Right.
That's perfect because
Yeah.
it explains that later on that he just doesn't care. Intern, if you're not going to participate, at least show respect to the discussion.
So I love it. Intern doesn't watch the movie, so he doesn't have anything to go, and he pulls up dancing something on the screen.
It's
This
Fortnite.
is Fortnite.
Terry, yeah.
This is Fortnite, T-Bone.
Oh, all
He's
right,
playing Fortnite T-Bone.
all right.
All right, whatever.
He's doing epic research.
Yeah.
He is doing. There you go. And
So-
I love it.
Donald Glover was fantastic as Lando. I would love to see a Lando movie. Like how Lando gets to be in charge of Cloud City. Oh, that would be a sick
good
movie.
That would be a good. Oh, but I bet because they left this open for another, and it's clear that it was open for another movie, and I would bet that there's a because Han doesn't know. I mean, he knows. I guess he knows that.
Well, he knows he's there because that's where they go
Right.
in Empire. They go from the asteroid field to Bespin. So
Right.
We just don't know if they've seen each other prior to that.
right.
Which
Which you could easily play into it, though. I mean, I don't
Right.
know. I just think it was really good. Speaking of it, there being a sequel. Did anyone else get the vibe that Dryden Voss and Kira were force sensitive in that movie with the way they did their combat? What was up with that little energy blade thing?
I don't think they were force sensitive because I think by this time Maul has left his use of the Sith, so he's no longer a Sith Lord, and he has taken that fighting art to another level, but he does have students, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think they're force users, and this sets it up because Han obviously doesn't believe in hokey religions. Right, and so at no point does he believe in hokey religions, even almost to the very end. Right, so I don't know force.
Well, and I'm not saying like a Sith or a Jedi, but they talk about it, and this is Star Wars Legends canon. There's some people who like can use the Force to an extent to be like proficient in combat.
Yeah,
And they definitely
maybe
seem to have
manipulation.
manipulation of certain things.
Right,
It also plays into some of the Darth Maul storylines from Clone Wars because he's with the what the heck is the guy's name? He's with the other Dathomirian, the Zabrak guy who goes to find him when he finds him on the ship when he's got the spider legs yet. That guy goes and finds him. So
that's right. It's before he only goes to two legs. Right.
So there's some potential there, and I thought that would be an interesting take on it too.
But I also like the fact that they might just leave that separate and only focus in on, and not really him being a secondary hologram from, I'm cool with that.
That was really cool. I mean, I would love to see a movie. I would like to see a movie of Enfys Nest like creating and the Cloud Riders creating the rebellion. Essentially, that would be badass because those characters were so cool. I wanted to know about them immediately, and we didn't know anything till the end. And then it was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, and the android rebellion.
that was awesome.
Oh, man.
That was I think they've done a real nice job with bless you. I think they've done a real nice job with the androids in the last couple of movies. K2
K2SO
SO
great.
was a great character. They're actually real characters, and I don't remember this droid's name.
L337.
L337. I knew that. Yeah, you're right. That was. I think there's actually depth in an android, and before we had these androids that stayed with us the whole time, C-3PO and R2-D2, and they had depth and range, but it took 6 movies to determine that depth.
Yeah,
where here we're actually getting to know these droids pretty quick.
Yeah, there was a lot better build up and characterization in those characters. They're treated more like the other just newly introduced characters, like Beckett or someone else who's just new to the storyline. It was done really well. The L3 character was so good when you see her and she's like getting rid of it's basically it's basically Robot Wars in the cantina. She's
Right.
like stopping that. I was like, that is awesome. And then the Droid Rebellion on Kessel was fantastic.
Oh, that was
I
awesome.
loved that. And I tell you what, I loved. It's a Star Wars film. I loved the cameos, man. Some of those cameos were so good.
Yeah.
I just like Warwick Davis just showing up at the end. I was like, yes.
Yeah, right. I love Wicket coming back to to see us in real form, right?
It was so good.
Yeah, and of course Ron Howard's brother Clint Howard
Yep.
was in there. I mean, it had something for everybody, and I think we should go ahead and give it our rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to start? Oh, wait, intern.
Oh, the intern is
Intern's
gonna.
like-
The intern is going to wager on a film he hasn't seen.
Yeah.
I just actually wanted to bring something up, if you don't mind. I know I haven't seen the movie. That's why I've kind of been quiet
Yeah.
in my video
Really?
games.
And how wonderful it's been.
It's been. We've actually had a conversation over
right,
here.
Right. Intelligent people are talking.
The adults
Oh
were talking.
man.
All right.
All right,
Are
go
you
ahead,
finished?
intern.
No.
Is this still relevant to Solo?
Yeah. It's a relevant statement. I think Disney's milking the shit out of Star Wars, and I think it's kind of destroying the franchise a little bit. To be honest with you,
Interesting.
Interesting. I would love for that to be like a full topic. I think we could devote some time to that.
Yeah.
That might be a multi-parter.
It might be.
because
I
that's-
disagree.
I absolutely will also disagree.
I disagree, but
they are destroying the movie.
that's why I want to save it so that we can go into depth with this because
Yes,
I
this
the
is
whole
going to
topic.
require some
Yeah.
depth, and this is going to require a lot.
I love this, and let's put it on the list
Yep,
of.
throw it on the list of topics.
of
intern.
topics.
Do your job.
I just love
That's,
Disney.
I think that's a great.
And I love
I think
Star
that's a
Wars.
great topic, and I would
and
like
they're
to
ruining it.
I love see, and that's another
Nope.
topic, and
Nope.
I can throw that one on there
because
too.
we
but,
can go into that. I
but
put it on
put it on the list.
put it on the list. Save it for the show.
Does he get a vote then? No.
Yeah, he gets to put in whatever he wants.
I'm not putting in a buck.
All right, so he gives no bucks.
No bucks to give.
No bucks.
Right, because we
All
took
out of
them
bucks.
all.
That's right.
so,
Negative bucks.
64, if I recall.
yeah. So what you got over there, Professor? Where are you going?
I'm at
I'd-
99 bucks.
I'd throw probably 25 on that.
You throwing 25?
I loved
in.
it.
All right. So go ahead, C-Money.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So if 25's out there,
And he loves it with
Yeah.
25.
and I would say I love it as well. So I guess
I mean, you can go ahead. You can go further than that. See,
well,
I'm,
it just gets complicated then. So to keep it simple, so if you loved it at 25, I will say 25 as well.
Since we're coming up on the end of the episode, I am going to go all in on Solo
Whoa.
with 95 sanity bucks. I really liked it.
So you're not going all in.
Wait, where's the final?
Well, I think I gave some
No,
Oh,
you,
that's
you
right.
gave you
You
gave
lost
10.
2 to me.
No, 10.
2 or
10. 10. What you said?
he looks like 10.
Yeah, you said you. He
he
looks.
looks like all right. So
Yeah.
and then I got 2, so 88. So I'm going all
Whatever you
in
got.
with 88 sanity bucks.
Okay,
Fuck,
so-
this is going to be
Yeah,
complicated.
we're going to rethink.
but I
We're gonna
like
have to really work on this.
I like where we're going with it. So
Can I put all my sanity bucks on E3? That's coming
No.
up. We talked
No.
about it. We
No,
did
we're-
talk about it.
no.
We did talk about it. We talked about it.
we're not
It's-
done with Solo.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're not
We-
done with Solo.
0. Negative.
Good.
If I could take money from.
See, and this is my biggest problem with Solo. People haven't seen the movie and are telling me it's a bad movie.
yeah,
That's my problem with Solo.
Yeah.
You didn't even see the movie yet.
go see
Who
it.
said I need to?
Go see it.
Then you go have your opinion is moo. It's a cow's opinion.
Well, I have 100. I have 100 sanity bucks. That says 99. It says
No,
otherwise.
you have negative
64.
64.
What are you going to get with that?
But that is a separate conversation. But honestly, like the discussion around Solo is like, oh, it didn't pull in as much money as it should have. It was the biggest movie of the weekend. What do you want?
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was the biggest movie opening weekend. It absolutely was.
It doesn't hold par to any release that's come out in the last 2 months.
All right,
Star Wars or a total?
dollars aside.
Dollars aside, it was worth it. It's worth going to see.
It is a great movie, period.
It's
I will see it when it's free.
Well,
great.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, didn't it get...
Rotten Tomatoes is always wrong.
oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Jeez
another topic.
Louise.
Anyway,
intern.
I would love to thank everyone for staying with us for this long as
Yeah.
we've listened to Intern give us 2 new topics. I appreciate that. We are the other side of Sanity, and we're coming back at you week after week after week from Studio 73.
get
I
it.
wish I was dead with enough in my chest and a bullet through my head. I'm so low that I wish I was dead. Must I go on? I sold all my friends today. I'm so low that I wish I was dead. I gave everything away. Now I'm bound only by twine and thread. I'm so low that I wish I was dead with enough in my chest and a bullet through my head. I'm so low that I wish I was dead. Must I